MagFest was pretty fun. And some of the
reason you were gone on an airplane.
There you go. That travel day is still less of a disaster than Lotus Juice on stage. No. Lotus Juice was there.
Oh.
Lotus Juice was live, and I didn't know.
Crazy.
And it was like, holy shit, let's go see Lotus Juice. It was
okay live.
It was cool.
He needs to be mixed.
Yeah,
is what he needs to have.
So it was super cool that Lotus Juice was there, and I didn't know, and I was really happy to find that out. And there was even a secret show the first night, and I was like, oh fuck, there was a chance to go catch that, just in one of the rooms over on the side. And I was like, fuck it, let's get to the main one, late night. And pulled up, and it was like, as I was finding out, it's like, oh shit, Lotus Juice is here. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, is that him walking right over there? And it's like, yep.
Oh hey, it's
that's
Lotus
Juice. There he goes. Oh shit. And concert started 40 minutes late because got pushed forward. Previous act kind of delayed.
It was the previous act.
Delayed things by 40 minutes or so. It was supposed to start around 12:50. Started around 1:30. And I think everyone, there's a bit of a. I guess there's a bit of a Neil Young thing is what we'd call it, where, all right, let's hear what Lotus Juice has got with some of the original tracks. Cool. First two, first three, first six. Everyone's kind of like, hey, if we could just get a crumb of that good shit.
Really?
A little bit.
Are you serious?
A little bit. But I'm like at the same I don't want to be that guy though, but we're at MagFest, so it's very clear why and what's going on and what this audience is about a little bit.
I you have that one good teacher at some point in your career through education. There's like a one teacher that knew what the fuck they were doing, and they gave you like a couple really good pieces of advice. My English teacher, who was an old ass bitch, I loved her so much. She was great. She was so fucking mean. When she's like, when you write something, the number one concern should be audience. Who are you writing this for? And I think about that all the time when I look at something and go, who the fuck is this for? And when you tell me that Lotus Juice went to fucking massive weeb-ass NerdCon MagFest and did 6 songs of his own material,
well,
I'm just like, who the fuck is that for?
I don't want to be the play Freebird person, right? Because I'm always super down to hear the original stuff that is like, what you're currently up to. Like, that's the thing. I think the best way to do it is to sprinkle and pace things a little bit and jump around and then have these kind of like highlight moments as we're building things up. But it was long enough that it felt like the room was starting to stir, and like the group I was with definitely did, because some of the folks that were there were like, I'm out of here. I'm literally leaving. I'm tired. This was already 40 minutes late. And then on top of that, it's like, so there was that, right? I'm like, I can't blame you. I get it.
Sing Heartbeat, you motherfucker. Wait, he's not even on that track.
but and then there's some stuff too where there's a couple folks who are like, Shoji Meguro composition is like, in particular, when there's those are I've seen some of those live concerts where you're covering the span of like all the games, and like they're pretty fantastic. Here you got
Juice comes out to do like 3 songs
a couple
total
of them
in those fucking things.
But that being said, right? Not I don't want to fucking spin the narrative here, but it's just like I just remember hearing about just like the Neil Young concerts where it was like, can you play one for us, Neil, please? And he'll be like, if you all stay till the end of the set, I'll play my classics, and then everybody does. and then he just starts his new shit again.
I remember back in the 2000s, when Madonna had a resurgence, or that she had that music video where she was in aerobics gear, or whatever the fuck, with her new album, and she did an interview in which someone from like Vanity Fair or some shit asked her, like, how do you feel about playing your old songs at concerts, and when people go to your concerts and they ask you to sing Like a Virgin or something like that? And Madonna responded with like, I don't even know the words to Like a Virgin. I remember that. I can't believe people even ask about that anymore.
Right.
Fucking shut up.
Right.
Sing the song.
Now this is the thing, right? I say all this fully knowing that like a ton of artists are also just like, I just don't like either maybe it's like I don't have all that in me. Maybe it's just like I don't want to just be that one thing my whole life. You know, I certainly wouldn't appreciate it if folks were just like, hey, yo, go do the best friends thing now. Just do that though, right? I would be like, come the fuck on, man.
No, you know what it would be like, Woolie?
What?
It'd be like, hey, Woolie, you ever gonna do another video like Fighterpedia? And you go, I don't even know fighting games anymore, man.
What are
fighting
those?
Games, man? Whatever. That's
Literally,
old.
what are those? Yeah, you know.
Woolie, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? You literally pulled out the Wens Marvel fucking card, but yeah, it's right next to you right now. Yeah, sometimes you gotta sprinkle in a couple of the classics.
So to peel back the curtain on this one, this is
no,
okay.
Don't. I know what you're gonna say because that looks too good. It looks way too good, and it doesn't have any creases.
This is not the original from back in the day.
No, of course it isn't.
This was made because someone asked me to use it in a video that will be upcoming. So I did a little bit for them.
Bit.
Yes, it is the same bit, and I was requested to do the same bit, right?
Yeah.
As people are talking about pie stealing over there. So 100%, right? I know that feeling, and I also know when an artist feels pigeonholed and creatively fucking locked into some shit that they don't want to. So but I think the balance, especially when it's like this is the event you're at, is to do some and drop, and then you have these like, oh fuck, yeah, and then like, okay, let's feel this shit out a little bit. Oh, here comes, you know, you kind of play it. I think there's a way you can do that and keep the audience like getting more and more excited as we build up to what everyone's really kind of excited and waiting for. You want to get that mass destruction going, you know?
Woolie, just between you and me, no, pretend no one else. Can I say something really brave? Can I be brave?
You can be brave and controversial.
Okay. I don't think it'll be controversial. I think that a musician on stage
okay, wait.
Thinking
okay.
With any sense of pride or ego
I
is the
see.
lowest form of life.
Right. Okay. I see. Yeah.
Once they get up onto the stage,
they're
there to dance and sing.
Okay.
And leave their body so that their muscles and voice can do the show.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, part of the reason why we love Ava so much is because Anno was completely insane in making that 100% selfishly and all about himself, and said fuck the audience, right? There are times and places where fuck the audience is the right energy.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna flip this around on you. If Anho put out an Evangelion thing that was like beloved and non-controversial and all that shit, I'd be like, what are you doing? No, you're supposed to get out there and take a shit on the stage and say fuck the audience. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to. Right. Okay. Now that you've established what you're about, the next time you've got to do that thing. You've got to go, yo, fuck you guys. And if you didn't, now you're. I see.
This is Riley from the Boondocks looking at Ice Cube and going, that guy from all those kids movies.
Yeah. I see. Okay, you're supposed to do what my expectations are. Even if my expectations are for you to say "fuck me."
Yeah.
Got it.
If I went to a Gigi Allen concert
and he
was alive, I'd be so fucking mad.
Right? And you're not flinging fecal matter my way?
Yeah, man. Oh, what, you're playing your folk music and shit and you turned over a new leaf now that you've come back to life?
God.
Get out of here.
I mean, Steve Martin doing ukulele interviews where he refuses to talk about anything he's worked on except for the ukulele stuff it's hostile, wild, hilarious energy that you could have towards, what people know you for. And I think this is literally the I would say the artist's struggle, but it's like all mediums, all things, like when you're known for this and then you're like, okay, I also want to do this, and then people are like, I'm showing up for this though.
Yeah.
You have to find the right way to present it and to hit those things. And I've seen shows, I've been to concerts where artists have pulled off both, and it's fucking incredible. It's awesome when done right.
So like we have an example that is like much closer to home, and that like we are variety content creators, right?
Mm-hmm.
In which we poke a little bit here, but we know lots of people. Like I know tons of people who were not variety content creators. They were single serving content creators. They did Warframe, they did Destiny, they did fighting games, they did Dark Souls, they did, and this and that. And every time that they would like go like, oh, I'm gonna branch out, people would go, this isn't fucking Dark, go back to Dark Souls, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And they all had to have this horrible period.
It sucked.
In which they're like, dude, shut up. I want to play something of God.
We've had that conversation, I feel, with way too many people that we know that are just like, yep, you're pigeonholed, you're stuck, you cannot escape what people have showed up for, and they don't want to see anything else. But the truth of the matter is, you just power through it, and then eventually people that do want to see other things will show up and are going to be fine with it. But yeah, that initial point.
I remember when fucking Mr. Charlie fucking Penguin Zero Moist Critical was a Black Ops content creator. And Max was a Call of Duty content. You remember that?
I mean, Jesus Christ. Fucking yeah, it's insane. And a lot of the time too, like I would say, just sidebar, like energy has a lot to do with it as well, because like by the numbers, despite like me being perceived as an FGC content creator, count up how many videos go out that are actually FGC.
Oh yeah, by volume, you're like, I don't know, 20%
less. It is clearly a variety category when it comes down to it, So to the point where like chatting with other creators as well about like, oh yeah, you just jump on, do a week of this character, like grind up a little bit and stuff, and kind of like, oh, that's not how things go over here. Oh, man.
Even by FGC standards, you are like insane variety, because like what variety to an FGC streamer a lot of times is like, well, we're gonna try a new character for the month of February.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Nah, man, we gotta go into that dumpster and find that old Kusoge garbage for this week
for one Saturday, and then next is slop. Anyway, so all this to say, like, there's been shows like, I mean, shit, when I went to go watch Shingo 2 and Oma doing the Nuja Best stuff the other day, like, it was an amazing mix of like, originals, news, and then into some of the classics, and the audience got real hype with the progression of things. But I think there's also a second reason here that might become a little more apparent. So like, we were having fun with it, and like, Lotus was doing stuff, and he was killing it. He was jumping up there. He's by himself, just performing. Then there was that moment of like, yo, y'all mind if I take my shirt off? And he takes his shirt off, and he's got a Persona shirt underneath it, and it's got a little jack on it, and it's like, there it is. Okay, here we go. And went into a couple of tracks, like It's Going Down Now, the new battle theme, disturbing the peace. It was good. But there's definitely some stuff where I felt like, okay, I think with the Persona tracks, it might just be because of how old it is, but it might be something where it's like, oh, maybe you haven't been performing these over the last 2 decades, so it might not be fresh in the mind. But there were a couple of like, little moments of like, that line got dropped, and it was like, okay, come back on the next line, So I think it was also a matter of like just performing while not super like fresh on the material. that was also some trepidation as to like, you know, putting them up front or like at the very least going too heavy into the persona stuff, which folks were waiting on, you know? And I think that all kind of came to a head because I feel like the tracks we heard, you know, up to that point were, just a couple of line skips and then you pick it back up on the next line. And when it came to Mass Destruction, like the first verse, unfortunately, hit a point where it got really rough. Like the first couple lines were just gone. And I think as like a recovery move, there was a moment of like, the mic is not working. Hello? And then the singer, who did an incredible job covering and doing the vocals, she kind of came up and did like a mic switch, and there was a moment where it was like, oh shit, okay, no, this mic is working. And I think everyone's like, okay, all right, yeah, okay, we'll politely kind of just accept, like, yeah, that's kind of what happened. But it really wasn't. The mic was fine. It was just, there was a line flub that kind of turned into that, and I think we all kind of knew. You know, I think that's what it felt like in the room.
That sounds like a great show from Lotus Juice.
Verse 2 killed it. Came back in full speed, full power, great times. Ba-da-ba-ba, loved it. But yeah, just being real about how that kind of went a little bit.
That's great.
It was a save, and you know, and then I guess I was kind of hoping for like the one last thing I was hoping for. I was like, oh, we're gonna do the fest intro. Can we get the fest intro? We didn't get the fest intro, and I was like, God damn it! I wanted to, and I'm the ace. We didn't get that either. So, at the end of the day, got a cool cover of It's Going Down Now, and got half of Mass Destruction pretty cool. Didn't get the dorm room Iwa Todai dorm theme.
Well, he's not on that.
In the remix, he is the new version.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't want that remix. I want that.
But he's but the new one,
dog shit free sample CD.
But
shit.
nah, because the new tracks are like Atlas mandated.
I don't know who it was, but I remember we were talking and somebody agreed with me. Like, nah, like a lot of the soul off that Iwa Todai dorm track is gone in the new version because it's better. Nah, that is a piece of shit that got downsampled and fucking just pitch corrected into garbage. I love that original version. Oh, it's so good.
What was a real fucking head spin was when he was like, yo, who's a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? And we're like,
I'm not a fan of your particular track in that JoJo, because
did you
it's
know
just the same fucking lyric over and over
did
and
you
over
know
and over.
I don't think any of us knew.
Absolutely.
Because it was like, yo, this is from
the
part
ending song to when he's in the plane in part 2.
I had no idea, and we looked it up and we're like, sure enough, Lotus Juice,
absolutely.
part
I
2
recognized it on the
Overdrive.
second I saw it.
Well, I will say this: the entire side of the room we were on were all baffled at the idea that Lotus Juice was in JoJo. None of us knew that.
Fucking fake fans over there. Jesus Christ.
No one knew that. They can, and as we
Christ.
see here, we continue to be confused. Lotus Juice was in JoJo Part 2. Anyway, so that was there. I unfortunately did not get to catch Red Vox, but I did hear that they were pretty good. And I mean, you know, Vinny's killing it. I know that they do an awesome job regularly, and I enjoy Red Vox. But yeah, no, that was the beginning or so of things. I feel like you know, it's cool if we kind of can go back and see that if it's like, hey, he's talked about how apparently he was like from Jersey for a while. He grew up in or spent some time in Jersey like 30 years ago or so. So if it's one of those things where it's just like he's only been performing new shit, and then it's like, hey, he got asked to do something, come back, and then like I'm like quickly trying to remember. Then I'm like, I totally understand how it went the way it did, you know, and that's all fine. But yeah, that was Lotus Juice.
How much did that concert cost?
I mean, it was part of MagFest. So,
well, that sounds like an appropriate deal then. Can't complain too hard for a included concert. It's like a continental breakfast. How much are you going to complain about your complimentary hotel breakfast?
I mean, for what it's worth, like MagFest performances are usually fucking 11 on 10s, you know?
Oh, well, then it's extra dog shit because he should have done better.
Okay.
Shame.
All right. Well, anyways, moving on.